Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome anyway. I'm glad you decided to join me today. I wanted to show you this journal, mini journal that I made using the Endless Love kit from Petals and Parchment. It was her membership kit for May, and May is almost over, but I think it will be available to purchase on her coffee shop even after May, although it might miss some of the extra freebies she shares with her members. But before we get into this, I would like to mention that June is right around the corner and I will be taking part in the Junetober YouTube Hub. I will be on 10th and 18th, days 10 and 18, I believe. So I'm doing two videos. There will be a video coming up every day from one of the hoppers. So I will link something down below so that you can check it out. It's going to be fun. You can print a game board from Petals and Parchment's coffee shop if you want to play along and collect the game pieces to take part in a crate giveaway at the end of June or beginning of July, I would say. Anywho, let's get started with this. I used some crocheted, it's just chain that I crocheted as a closer. I thought that would be fun and whimsical. The journal cover is just, well, it's basically 3 layers of thicker copy paper, which the top side is collaged and stitched. I have a new sewing machine, which is super fun, so that's why I'm totally into the stitchy look right now. I used a 3 pamphlet stitch to bind it together, and then there's just this little flap holding the closure down. My daughter has almost finished the first grade. Today is her last day, actually. So this is going to be a fun little summer journal for her. Obviously, she can use this for whatever she wants to, but I thought it would be fun to savor some memories she will have from this next summer. She has tons of new friends and so on, so I thought that would be fun. I used a die cut here on the background, and then I just collaged a strip of paper and this lovely little girly, and these birds were just fabulous. I love them all. Here on the covers, both of the covers actually, I have these big pockets and I just put a tag in. So like I said, this is kind of meant for the memories, and also I wanted to make sure that whether she wants to write or draw or just add some pictures perhaps, she can do it also. It has some free space too. This lazy background was from Petals and Parchment's Mother's Day freebie, I believe. So I used that too, here and there. It goes into this pocket. I love to make these little collages. So there's half circle pocket, and then I just played with different sorts of shapes. Wow. Here is a little tuck spot. She can take these out and make cards for her friends, or just leave them as they are, you know, again, a lazy rectangle from the Mother's Day freebie, and then there's a tag. Oops, looks like I forgot to punch the hole out, but that's okay. And another rose. Here we have, this was also from the Mother's Day freebie, I think, the swan. I just lightly decorated. Honestly, these tags were super beautiful as they are. They even have the stitching border to, you know, it's designed in the tag. So that's not something I added. So didn't have to do much for them. And the papers have these lovely girls. So that was perfect for somebody the age of my daughter. Here is a journaling spot that opens like that, and I did add a little pocket in here. The kit was designed to celebrate the love between grandparents and grandparents and grandchildren, I believe, girls and their grandmas. But I don't know, I just love to use the older ladies here as well to celebrate life, basically. Here we have a belly band, and this was supposed to be like 3D envelope, I believe, but I altered it a little bit and just made it a flat one, and added a closure for the flap. And here we have a journaling card with a pocket. There we go. Let's put that back in and close the flap behind this beautiful butterfly. There we go. Let's see if I can put it back easily, or I don't seem to ever remember that I should not be putting things back in while I'm filming, but if I leave them out, then I just don't remember what my original thought was and what goes where. So I'll have to put them back as I go. And once again, another little collage. This butterfly, along with some other butterflies I've used here in this journal, were from Petals and Parchment's Glimpse of Heaven kit, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but you know. I will link the coffee shop down below also so that you can go and check it out. Or if I forget to do that, it's on my link tree, which probably will be down below. So I'm hoping for the best. I decided to make the central, because it's just one signature journal. I wanted to make this central page like cohesive. So I went with 2 belly bands. These are actually double belly bands. So they have 2 pockets or tucks each. This came from the kit itself, I believe. And there's the journaling card in the back. I just added a lot of lace and so on. And more of these beautiful flowers that I also used for the cover. And this was from Mealworker's Memento, I think. The colors were such a beautiful fit. So I decided to use that as I had it left from previous projects. There we go. Another butterfly and a small collage. Again, plenty of space for photos or whatever she wants to put in here. I did decorate, I would say, most of the pages somehow, but there are a few that I just left blank because I didn't want to cover them, or you could always use like a flap or something like that, which I have done in the bag. But like I said, I also wanted to leave some room for her creativity. I didn't want to just, you know, fill it all up. And here we have 2 flaps connected with this trim and a tiny journaling guard. Let's put it back in. Oops. Let's tighten that up a little bit. And yes, a few collages here and there. Those are my thing. And then I couldn't help myself. I needed to create this little house that reminds me of like gilded houses that I've seen around. I even made a little window up here, which says welcome in Finnish. I didn't want to include any English sentences or sentiments here because she doesn't understand those. But there's a pocket behind the house, and this has that like double opening. There we go. Again, some tiny journaling space there. This door was like this. It was a flap to begin with, but I cut it open and placed this little piece of paper on the back so that I could kind of make it a double. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Obviously, I had to cough whenever I'm filming. Sorry. But as I was saying, I wanted to make it a double flap, so there we go. And then I made some collage tags with the papers that I had left over from making pretty much everything else in this journal. And this is original tag designed by Elizabeth. Like I said, those were just like beautiful as they are. Didn't have to add anything. Here I just made a small collage on the tag. There we go. Let's put that back in. And here we have a tiny journal spot. I wanted to try some not new ideas, but some of them were new to me, and I wanted to do really different things in this journal, not just repeat the same idea, basically. I wanted to make this fun, like a playground or something. Here we have another collage piece. I like to extend the washi tape strips across the tag to the other side, just to give the backside something, a little bit of something, you know. Here we have a collage, and then this journal spot opens, leaving a lot of room for writing, drawing, whatever. There's a little collage there, and behind this journal spot there is a pocket, so I didn't glue it straight in. There we go. And then, like I said, I didn't want to cover all the pages, so I decided to use a flap journaling card taped down on both sides, basically. Here is the last pocket and the last collaged tag that I made. I think these were like super fun. I really enjoyed making these. Scrappy projects are always fun, aren't they? Anyhow, that's the journal. I hope you got some new ideas or just enjoyed watching. And even though it's been quiet on my channel for a while, it's going to get a little bit busier and things are going to take a dark twist here soon with Junetober. Even if that's not your thing, I promise I will have these shabby chic, colorful other types of projects too, because It's just all my jam. I love to do it all. Anyway, thank you for spending some time with me today. Thanks for watching. I would really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up or just leave a kind comment down below. I hope you will have lovely last days of May, and I will see you hopefully back in June. Bye for now.